Welcome back to Fox Netball. We are in the second half of a huge doubleheader. Of course, the New South Wales Swifts did the job and kept their spot right at the top of the Super Netball ladder with that win over the Vixens. And now we are at Ken Rosewall Arena for the Giants up against the Firebirds. A very different game in terms of the complexion of the ladder, but nevertheless plenty to play for both of these teams. And of course, it is First Nations round, and it is time for a very special cultural performance from the Janawi Dance Clan.
Would you please welcome to the court the Janawi Dance Clan.
Kawi bianga garbara, kawi bianga pamua, kawi mujimali garanga. Dijligo migala yamala, warami duya nurawa, nalawaya waru niri nara, nara yala mandi, mujin malanya punu miga, yama yeben darangara, kawi. Dijrigo mirigada yamala, warami duya nurawa, nalawaya waru niri nara, nara yala mandi, mujin malanya bunu miriga, yanma iben darangara, kawi.
The Welcome to Country will now be performed by Leslie McLeod.
Waramaya, Wodjins, Wodjamans, brothers, sisters, Gurul, Ewan, Darak, Darawal, Nagato, Garanji. Waramaya was first documented by a man by the name of William Dawes. Waramaya is an ancient word from the Darak people, the traditional custodians of the land we're now upon. In our ancient language, Waramaya means welcome, so welcome everyone. Wodjins, also a part of that ancient language, meaning women. Wodjaman, meaning men. In our ancient culture, women come first, men always come second. Gurul is my Aboriginal name. Ewan are my mother's people. Darak, Darawal is my father's mother's people. Nagero are my father's people of that ancient mountain you call Kosciuszko. So on behalf of my mother speaking people, my father speaking people, I say Waramaya and welcome to the lands, the ancient lands of the Wongal, Darik people of the Sydney Basin. So welcome everyone, enjoy the night and the game, and go the Giants.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leslie McLeod.
Uncle Les McLeod there with the Welcome to Country. Go the Giants. That is the call, and a popular one around here. Plenty of orange in Ken Rosewall Arena as the Giants get set to keep their season off of live support. Sharon Finn-White joining me, of course, in commentary, and running the sidelines, Kim Green. And here is the Woolworths team cards for the Firebirds up the front and on screen. Danelle Wallam, as we said, 55 goals last time when the Firebirds got the win. Doesn't that seem like a long time ago? Been a tough season. Emily Moore alongside Lara Dunkley, Lisa Maiwai, Kim Rebellion, And then RBD and Remy Camo, who has just gone from strength to strength. There was Lisa Mainway on the bench. Ashley Uni, Mia Stowe, Gabby Simpson. Beck Bullies Chargers hoping that they can deliver once again, and you hoping the same thing?
I am, Will, absolutely. And before the game starts, I actually just want to mention the umpire, one of the umpires for today, for First Nations rounds. Great to see Jordan Kiss on the sideline officiating this game today. I actually got to learn a little bit more about Jordan during my interview on the fourth quarter, so just hear about her family and her umpiring journey.
Danelle Wallam as well coming up in fourth quarter this week. So 1 week Sharrington and White, the next week Danelle Wallam, Thursday 7:30. So don't miss that. The Firebirds, let's put that 97 goal beating by the Fever behind them and start again with the ball through Bakewell Doran. Dunkley high and a little push off the body from Moore to Wallam, enough to tip it out of bounds, but doesn't matter, and Wallam will get first shot, and the Firebirds are on the board early.
And that's great for Lisa to get a touch on the ball as well, just to get the nerves, settle the nerves down, because she'll be feeling a little bit of nerves coming into this match, her first start for the season.
Just a different looking side with Joe Harton up the front, although, as Tim Green pointed out, Matisse Leatherborough has really stepped up over the course of the last couple of weeks. But Joe Harton brings such experience to the front end of the Giants lineup, and has that, she's one of those players that just having her on court just brings everybody else up around her.
Yeah, Joe, yeah, absolutely. Joe, she's just, I mean, she's a current or former now. She's just announced her retirement from the English Roses, hasn't she? But she's just such a strong stature, a strong target under the post. She just brings that leadership and that calming influence on court as well. So they'll be really excited to have her back in the lineup.
Just maybe retiring from the international game. Brings her a season or two extra in the domestic game. We hope so. She's been here 10 years. Honorary Australian, getting plenty of attention from Bakewell Doran.
Oh, lovely ball from Dunkley there into Wallam. That's what we need to see, that quick release, just to get that ball into position for Wallam to take under the post.
3-2, just under 2 minutes gone. Parmenta restarts. Hay looks long, goes short.
Centre contact in the middle. Yes. That is contact, keeper.
Battle here.
Oh, Camo.
I just love that she comes into this game, and people think that she's a youngster coming in. She's 29 years of age, but she obviously starts her Super Netball career later than most, and not in any way intimidated by coming up against Harton.
Absolutely, and what I love is that both Camo and Bakewell Doran know each other's games so well, so there's a lot of that non-verbal communication going on there in the circle.
My on debut last week, starts this week. Turnover though, pass had too much attention. Both teams just working their way slowly down court and tries to make up for it. My doesn't quite, and JLP picks up the scraps.
Centre contact advantage offside.
Oh, nice release from Jamie Lee Price there. Not a lot of height on it, but just a well-placed pass.
Giants with the centre pass as well. Brownlee, the 150 gamer. Hay short, centre channel.
Nice work. Kim Revillion then was just covering every phase of Maddie Hayes' movements and really shut her down on that circle.
I'd say Joe Harton spent about 2.9 seconds making that decision. Anyway, as the Giants go up by 1, Kim Green is on the sideline. She's looking very intently at me across the court, which means I have to throw to her now. Kim?
Hey, Will. What I'm loving about the Firebirds attack at the moment is that they're very clear on a centre pass. You can see who's going over first phase, and if they're not getting it, who's going on the second phase. So both Moore and Dunkley getting really great depth on that second phase ball.
Thanks, Kim. You would think that both these teams need a very fast start again. This time, almost 3 seconds again for Harton, who did a full 360 looking for an option.
Jo Harton looking a little frustrated there. She was pointing to Price to where she wanted her to be on that circle. They had to go all the way back to the mid-court to find the pass.
2-goal gap remains. More Dunkley, a battle with Parmenter, an interesting one.
Dunkley a little bit hesitant to put the ball into Donnell. I'd love to see her just release it a little bit quicker while the defenders' heads are down or just not ready for that pass coming in.
Hay in the pocket, short, and again, immediately looking for that option. Harton. High back space, good pass from Price.
What I love about Harton is that she's, you know, one of the most efficient goal shooters in the league. She doesn't have to do all that much running. She just knows how to position her body in the circle, and they know how to feed her.
Lovely ball, Dunkley. That's a confident ball. You know that your goal shooter has the confidence of her feeders when they can just let that one go and know that Donnell's going to reel it in.
Well, it's not where coaches would like their wing attacks to be feeding the ball, but that one was spot on.
Straight pass then from Parmenter gives the Firebirds a chance to level things up. Carmo to Bakewell Door, and a combination that has really been blossoming in the first half of this season. Or My lets it go quickly, and Wallam reels it in. Lovely piece of play down the centre channel.
Mai's got her second breath now, so she's well and truly into this game and starting to feel a little bit more confident.
Another great conversion from the centre pass for the Firebirds, who then go in front. They've only had a couple of wins this season. One of them was over the Giants, though. That was up at Nissan Arena, and a different story here at Ken Rosewall. And I'll tell you what, it is icy in here.
It is cold. I've got the puffer jacket on today, Will, so one of the coldest stadiums I've been in, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you've come from up north,
well,
so
true.
Everything's cold
exactly.
for you. Dwyer just warming up the long ranger. 3 minutes until the power 5. And as we said in the pre-game, she's at 65% for her super shots, and she has had 78 attempts in the opening 10 rounds of Super Netball. I can't believe we're already at round 11.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier before commentary, how fast this season's gone. Probably not for the players, but for us it has.
For me, who does no work all week and then turns up with lollies on a weekend, yeah, it's gone quickly. Dwyer, high. Every single one of the passes at this level has to be absolutely pinpoint.
Great challenge from Bakewell Door, and then she had front position.
Straight up here. Yes.
Good work from Hay, good space from Dwyer again. Off the step back, makes no mistake. And there is nothing between these two sides midway through the opening quarter. My to restart, and Branley nearly. The amount of vision that needs to pull something like that off. And again this time, Hay does the job where Branley couldn't quite.
I was actually watching April Branley's highlight reel for her 150th game, and that front position, the balls that she can take, getting up for those high balls, that is something that is the danger period for the Firebirds, so they're going to have to keep the ball down low when it's anywhere near April Branley.
And here is the Harvey Norman replay. Branley so close to getting her hands on one just then. Still just as sharp, despite the fact that she is at 150 games and at her 5th different club across the course of a career that has spanned such a number of quality years. As high ball comes from Dunkley to Wallam. And an unusual miss.
Where you are.
Again, Branley. And this time the Giants get the call and chalk that one up to the work from April Branley. Now with the ball in hand.
Yeah, Donnell will be disappointed in that miss under the post. As you said, we're not used to seeing her miss from that close under the post, so converts into a turnover for the Giants.
Now the home side has to honour that work done by the defensive unit. Harton, top of the circle, again has to go back. Credit has to go to the defensive duo from the Firebirds, who've been solid, and it's just frustrating Joe Harton and frustrating the Giants' attack.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you want your circle defenders to be like. But it's also a bit of credit should go to Rebellion and Maimai at the front, who are making it really difficult for that ball to get down the circle edge. So well done to them.
Well, despite that, it is 12-9 currently. Harton sitting 8 from 8. Dwyer 3 from 3. Sorry, 4 from 4. That doesn't add up. My maths is not great. 4 from 4.
Don't come to me with a maths question, Will.
We do words, not numbers here. Power 5. Good timing for Dwyer. Can't make it sink, though. We're in super shot time, and Carmo throws a one-hander too far for Bakewell Doran.
I was going to say that was an important rebound for the Firebirds as well, and she's come off the body to have a crack at that outside ball, but to no avail. Joe Harton left alone under the post.
And just talking to her team, encouraging them after that one, which is a little bit easier. Kimmy G, as we say, nearly another turnover. Giants attack, we're just saying, looked a little frustrated. Good work from the Queensland defenders.
In what they're doing. Sorry, I'm just going to talk about the Giants and what they're doing in that attack, and in particular in the width that they're using. Yes, the Firebirds are holding them up, but Joe Harden is screaming for those middies to get into a pocket. She wants them there. So for me, what they're looking for is the angle for the high ball, and for Joe to be smart on where she goes and finds a body on the sweep from Dwyer.
Great insights there from Kim Green, and this time drew two defenders to forward. Harton in the back space, and back to a 3-goal game for the Giants after the first Suncorp super shot coming from Danelle Wallam at the top of the circle. This time though, she's back in super shot range, doesn't want it now, has a second crack, looks good out of the hand, too short though. Branley picks up the rebound. It's actually quite incredible, the increased, not reliance on the super shot, but the willingness of teams to go to the super shot as soon as the period starts. It's really been a new chapter this season in terms of how much the teams use it, but also how well the good teams are shooting super shots now.
Yeah, there's a lot of strategy around it, obviously. I think teams now...
Carmo, beautiful! Saw that one coming from Harton.
Teams are more likely to go to the super shot early, so they don't have to play catch-up netball with it. So you don't want to always have to rely on the super shot, so they like to start getting them in early in the game.
Harvey Norman replay, perfect timing from Carmo in her opening season on Harton, and that will frustrate the English Rose even further.
Contact, yes. Just there, yes.
Carmo and Bakewell Doran are doing a really great job in there. What they're doing is they're sitting off the body and they're actually trying to confuse the space, because we know Joe Harton loves to feel the body where she can find her space to drop into, but they're just sitting in that space hedging and really making it difficult for the feeders of the Giants to find them.
Jamie Lee Price leading the Nissan net points. Maddie Hay not far behind her, and a couple of Firebirds after that. Branley flies high again immediately. Oh, sorry, not Branley. Lee Price. Hard to see from this angle. Wallam, though, will finish off.
Yeah, lovely feed.
Back to 2.
Lovely feed from Maimai. She's got her rhythm now. She's in this game.
Dwyer. Carmo is just not letting Harton out of her sight. And a good height match too, the pair of them.
Joe Harton, 8 centimetres taller than Carmo, but doesn't look like it from sitting from this angle.
No, you just stitched me up there. Thanks very much.
Sorry about that. I did my stats.
I wasn't prepared for you to have the centimetres out. You got to be careful when Finn White goes quiet for a minute, starts rifling through the pages. Dwyer looks to Price, goes to Harton. And the Giants are going to keep their nose in front at the end of this quarter, you would think, but a very hotly contested opening quarter between two sides in desperate need of a win. More high this time.
Nice balance from Janelle there to get the ball back into Emily.
Very high arc off Emily Moore, too short in the end. 24 seconds to go in the opening quarter. 3 goals to the good, ball on the deck. Maddie Hay to restart. Dwyer Hart, it's going to be too long. Time off, so 9 seconds to go down court for the Firebirds to see if they can take last blood in this one. Long, high, and they stream down court. Ball goes to Wallen, what a pass! She goes to the layup, doesn't work. We've seen it happen before. The buzzer beats everyone, 17-14. A big moment at the end of a very tough quarter. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, an entrancing contest here at Kenrose Wall Arena.
Welcome back to the Origin quarter-time break. I have Netball Australia CEO Kelly Ryan. A really tough week, so much uncertainty. Are we any closer to resolving any of the situations going on at the moment?
Yeah, clearly there's a lot on at the moment. So not an ideal situation to be in where you don't have an 8th team in the competition ahead of the next season. But we're working incredibly hard to make sure we finalise our process, which we're just about to finish, and then we'll be close to making some announcements the next 24, 48 hours of what that process looks like.
Well, that's great news, but we did see the Magpies yesterday turn up, show up. They had a fantastic game, those players and coaches. Talk us through the character of the players within this competition, but especially the Magpies under, what it was such a tough week for them.
Yeah, they're an incredibly resilient bunch. As individuals and then put them together as a team, they're a phenomenal group, and we're really proud of the effort that they put in and continue to put in. It's incredible circumstances, and none of us can imagine what they're going through. So we're really grateful that they continue to really try and find a way. Hopefully we can give them, amongst everybody else, some more certainty really soon.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Kelly.
Thanks.
Quarter time by Origin Energy, and thank you to Kelly Ryan for taking the time, the Netball Australia CEO, to answer some questions and to be at this game watching the Giants currently leading the Firebirds by 3 and starting with the centre pass here in the second quarter as, again, Dwyer comes out to give the option to Jamie Lee Price, and then lovely drive under plenty of pressure from Bakewell Doran, and a good finish too from Dwyer, who's been strong all season for the Giants.
Yeah, the ability of, she has been absolutely strong, but I was just watching Bakewell Doran, her ability to contest that first ball and then recover so quickly to get onto that next phase of defence is really outstanding.
Contact call on Lauren Moore, who's another one who has really stood up this season, had the chance to start games and continues to grow with that confidence under her belt. Obviously, she's been around the traps a while, comes from the Swifts to the Giants and has had a season this season. Probably won't transfer into a finals position, but it's a hotly contested top 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Every team wants to finish strong, regardless of whether they are going to make the finals or not. You want to put your best foot forward, remembering there's some, prospective Diamonds players out there also wanting to win a spot in that Diamonds team for the World Cup coming up soon. So every player will be fighting hard and working hard for their club.
Oh, Parmenter, split second too late. The Firebirds carry on quickly. Circle edge through Dunkley.
That's instruction.
Such good defence from both teams. We've seen some pretty generous held ball calls not happening.
Interesting.
Nice generous 3 seconds, but they can't last.
Absolutely. Interesting to see Tilly McDonald starting on the bench. I felt she's been having a really good season, and nothing against Lauren Moore, because I think she's doing really well too, but she gets the start today on Janelle.
Loose ball, turnover through Bakewell Doran, who popped a shoulder off the ball just then from Jamie Lee Price, which is not something which looks too pleasant. Circle edge, my.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
So no changes for either side coming into the second quarter. Really different, these two teams, in how they use their bench as well. The Giants, we know Julie Fitzgerald likes to pick and stick. In fact, they've only once used 2 or more subs in the game, whereas the Firebirds only twice have they used less than 2 subs. They tend to go to their whole bench at least half the time. So it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out, especially if it's tight, which it certainly looks to be. Matisse Leatherbarrow there on the bench alongside Tilly McDonald, who, even sitting on the bench, she's going to have to be moving at some point. She's got too much energy for that. Ball out of court. Another turnover, this time the Giants making the mistake. 2 goals, the gap.
Kushina contact. Instruction goal attack. Beside her, yes. Step back. Keep eye contact, just in the 2. Going Firebirds. Contact.
Really impressed with what Mai is bringing to the court. Well, she's up against a diamond centre in Jamie Lee Price, who I absolutely am a fangirl of Jamie Lee, but Mai is holding her own against her.
First HCF tactical timeout. You're absolutely correct, Sharon. We're going to listen in to Julie Fitzgerald and see what she has to say to her charges.
Covering, then allowing them to come back with the ball all of the time. Wherever they go, we have to go with them, all right? Don't cover them down here and then allow them to come back to the ball. We've got to come back on the nose. Just steady out with our passes, make sure that our placement is really good, all right? And make sure we stay connected and we don't have everybody in 2 different channels, all right? Lauren? If they're running on our shoulder, we've got to take there's got a little bit of room between you and her. So you've got to be off the line here to there, so you've got to be there. Alright? Same with you, eh? Always just need that tiny bit of air between you and her so that if you do get your hands on the alright?
Adjust the timing then recover. Yeah. But as we see the land on the body, we can then change direction.
Okay.
Yeah?
We're okay, guys. We need to make a few adjustments here and we need to lift, okay?
Lift from through court defence as well. Let's get the points happening, the hands over, nice and clean. Slow it down for these guys. Here we go. Let's look at each other. Yeah? Sorry. Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The experienced players stepping to the fore in that huddle for the Giants. As we get things underway again, back to 1 goal, has all the makings of a blockbuster, this one, although the Giants traditionally have their weakest quarter first, at least this season. Whereas the Firebirds, they've only won 2 of 10 second quarters. They can't seem to win a second quarter, so we'll see what happens this time around. Kimmy G, you were creeping around behind Beck Bully there. You can see what's going on. What was happening in the Firebirds huddle?
I was right in that huddle, Will. She was really impressed with the defence and loving what they were doing there. But in attack, the Giants have now been able to transition what they're doing in defence to cover that second phase. So still take it on deep, but then pop back and re-offer. So really impressed in that camp in particular, but a couple of changes as well.
Lovely pass into Dwyer, who does what she does, takes the step back under Carmo's pressure and makes no mistake. Another player just with confidence and experience beyond her years after her debut back in 2020. And Moore gets a hand on one. Price picks up and down the court come the home side.
And at the other end, Will, looks like Wallam's in a little bit of trouble. I think that last pass going in has done something to her finger. She's calling for assistance.
I think she's signalling that she needs a timeout and needs to come off to Nell Wallam. There's a Harvey Norman replay, and immediately you can see caught one on the end of the finger. Let's hope it's not a broken finger. Yeah, Stower's going to come on in the goal shooter position, and immediately Wallam is heading off. Getting checked out by the team doctor, and that one was anyone's ball. Firebirds come down with it.
Lovely work by Mai to come up with that deflection to win the ball for her team, and it's turned over. Unfortunate for them.
Dunkley on Jamie Lee Price. Two of the most athletic players out there coming together. Price gets the ball on this occasion. Branley has to go back. So turnovers at both ends. Defence is what this game is all about at the moment.
Coach Julie Fitzgerald spoke to her players in that timeout and talked about steady with their passes and placement of the ball, and that's not what was happening just then. But they score from it regardless.
4 goals now. This is an important possession. Stower having just come on. And this time they go to Emily Moore, the 26-year-old. Just looking over to Danelle Wallam. The face says it all from where I can sit. Kim, what do you think from there? You're closer than I am.
Yeah, I went over and had a look. Not that I'm a doctor or anything like that, Will, but she does seem like she's in a bit of bother at the moment. There was no dislocation, but it looks like they're putting some strapping tape on it now. So possibly just a big jar of the finger, and anyone that plays netball knows that hurts, especially in this cold weather.
It sure does, Kim. So hopefully we'll see her back on soon with a little bit of tape.
Yeah, getting strapped up right now. So, sigh of relief being breathed by Firebirds fans, Diamonds fans too. Could be prouder than that. Dwyer saying that came off the Firebirds, and the wry smile from Bakewell Doran. 4 goals, I think that's the biggest lead so far in this one. It's been tightly contested halfway through the second quarter. Also warming up on the exercise bike, or just maybe trying to stay warm, Gabby Simpson, who's got a heavily strapped up ankle. She might be popping her head up out there in the second half.
I might go and join her, Will, just to warm up. But look, with Stour coming on, I think, you know, this will give the Giants defenders something different to think about, because we know with Wallam on there, there's a lot of high ball going in. So this will just get the defenders thinking about a little bit of a different strategy.
Came off the bench too, Stour last week, but she came on at goal attack, ended up with 6 or 7. 18 feeds, 13 assists, so played a big role last week in that difficult game against the Fever. But now playing at GS, Bakewell Doran, my plenty of short passes from both sides, but plenty of turnovers too.
I think the Giants are giving the Firebirds just a little bit too much room. They're contesting, but they're just not getting any hand to the ball. So I think, you know, Coach Julie Fitzgerald wants them to step up onto the body and go with them. That's what her words were at that break.
Third time lucky for Sauer.
Interestingly too, Will, we see Amy Parmenter on -2 Nissan net points, which, you know, compared to last week, where she really bought her game, she's really sort of, you know, not up where she'd like to be. So, you know, that's credit to Lara Dunkley as well.
Well, there's a 99 Nissan net point gap between where she finished last week and where she is right now. So that tells somewhat of a story. Top of the circle, and won't be worth 2, but it will be a nice settler for Stour. 50 seconds, and we're going to have a timeout, as we see so often these days, just prior to the Power 5 when the games are close and the Giants call it once again. So we're going to listen in again to them.
Isn't that circle with just a little bit of room behind it? We're going to get the ball into it, all right? But it's got to be well played.
So amazing.
And I just feel, I don't know if you feel it, you're doing a lot of fighting the body and working off the body.
I just feel like she's throwing my backside so I get pushed as the ball comes in.
Yeah, but then I don't see why you can't just do the movement beforehand and get her right off her body anyway. Is she going to follow you everywhere you go?
strong preliminary movements happening to get her off the body so you can go for those strong drives. You can see now she's already stepped up.
Oh, Jamie Lee Price.
That's exactly what Julie Fitzgerald was asking of her.
Such speed, great agility, timing as well. And speaking of timing, Emily Moore turns it back over. Highlight moments on both sides. Revalian uses the 3 seconds, eventually heads to the pocket.
Oh.
There is not a pass out there today that isn't contested. And we are back to 1 goal. Here is the Harvey Norman replay. The first one from JLP. The Firebirds get it back through Moore. And we're back at 1 goal. The hooter's about to sound. Super shot in effect as of now. And then they immediately look to Sophie Dwyer.
Obstruction keeper.
Beautiful out of the hand, does the job. $100 to the Confident Girls Foundation, thanks to Suncorp. The numbers are really adding up this season. And the Giants are out to 3 once again, which is where they've spent most of this half.
Vantage contact wing.
Almost.
Yeah. She wasn't in the zone, and then that extra pass and back again.
I reckon you just got to back yourself and go for those ones.
She was standing just inside super shot territory, so maybe thought about that and ended up with the turnover. Directing traffic out there, Harton. And good use of the body, good space. Dwyer again, this time too long. .350, still 3 goals, and both teams bringing their A game to this one.
Read that one like a book. Amy Parmenter saw that coming.
We both just involuntarily let out random noises there. Oh.
We were so impressed, weren't we?
Yep, Harvey Norman replay, there it is. High it went, and Parmenter knew where it was going, couldn't quite get there.
The awesomeness of Amy Parmenter.
It's very true. Who's rocketed now to 18 missing net points.
There we go. We knew it was coming.
Jamie Lee Price, though, leading all comers, 66 in the first half. And the Giants on 216 total. Harton with goal number 17 from 18 attempts, and we're back at a 4-goal game. Centre pass as well as we tick down to the end of this half, but it goes straight to Remy Camo. And
speaking of missing net points, Will, it's interesting and very pleasing to see Lisa Maimai is leading the Firebirds on 28.5 missing net points. Oh, yeah, she is. She's leading.
Emily Moore. We're not good at
numbers.
numbers.
I missed that one, sorry. 45, Emily Moore.
Thought about letting it go, decided not to. Speaking of letting it go, Mia Stour does just that. And we're back at a 2-goal game. It hasn't been more than 4 throughout, and Firebirds. Both teams, I think both coaches are going to have something to say about ball security in the halftime break. There's been plenty of turnover ball, and Stour back-to-back super shots, and we are locked at 28.
We know Stour can shoot those super shots, so Firebirds will lose nothing with Donnell coming off and Stour coming on in that super shot period.
Wallum out of her seat on the side of the court.
Oh, risky pass, but she had no other option, Stour.
Doesn't like that call. Does Donnell, but she looks okay and ready to come back on if required in this half.
Over here.
See the strapping there. Great shot from Fox Sports cameras. Looks okay, so hopefully just a jar, as you say.
Is it a shooting hand? I didn't see that, whether it's a shooting finger or...
I'm just trying to get my
the other one.
Right. I think so.
Okay. Well, she's sat back down on the bench, so it doesn't look like she's coming back on at this stage.
Dwyer, circle edge, takes the step, has to let it go. Harton in super shot range as well. That'll be her first and doesn't quite manage to sneak it over the lip. Armo boxes out nicely, picks the rebound up, and down come the Firebirds again. They haven't hit the front in quite a long time.
Giants have really stepped up their defence. Firebirds struggling to find the space that they had and that freedom that they had in that first quarter.
It was about 6 minutes into the first quarter when the Firebirds were leading by 1. Haven't led since then, been down by 4 multiple times, and they squander the opportunity to hit the lead in the shadows of half-time. Will the same thing? Oh, wow! Bakewell Doran flies high.
2 hands to the ball, front position.
10 seconds on the clock, and Jamie Lee Price just might have kept it in a locked game. 5 seconds, goes high, and Stour on the super shot again. She was unbalanced when she shot it, and it'll be 28 goals apiece here at half-time at Ken Rosewall Arena. Nothing can split these two. A real defensive game. And setting up for what should be a huge second half here in First Nations rounds, as both teams head courtside to find a way to push into the second half and pick up an all-important win here in the last month of the season, as we head down now to Kim Green, who has Lisa Maimai.
Thanks, Phil. Lisa, my goodness, first SSN start. How are the lungs?
Oh my God, they're burning, Kimmy. They're getting there, but girls are amazing and they're helping my lungs go, so.
Well, it's a fantastic matchup between you and Jamie Lee Price, and you're playing so well out there, 16 feeds to your name. How do you minimise, I guess, her impact in the next half?
I definitely need to get off her body because she's such a strong body, she's an amazing mover. And I just get rid of her hands, just maybe fake her out, maybe be a bit more, and definitely a bit more judging. Definitely get in some space.
Well done. All the best for the second half. Good job.
Thank you.
Lisa Maimai, one of 2 First Nations player out there in First Nations round, and it is locked up at 28 goals apiece. Halftime show coming up straight after this, and don't miss fourth quarter this Thursday as well. Danelle Wallam, who has picked up a little injury. We hope to see her in the second half. She will be on the show, 7:30 on Thursday night. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the halftime show here on Fox Netball. Two quarters of netball and absolutely nothing between the Giants and the Firebirds, who are engaged in a physical battle here at an absolutely freezing Ken Rosewall Arena in front of a great crowd here on a Sunday afternoon, knowing that the Giants, well, they need a win if they're going to keep even their mathematical hopes alive of a finals berth here in season 2023. It is time to check all of the stats, facts and figures as we look inside the Giants change rooms, and we wonder whether Julie Fitzgerald's going to be heading to her bench at all. JLP with plenty to say, and it has been a defensive mid-court battle between the two of them, between these two sides, so who better to turn to? April Brownlee as well in her 150th. Plenty to chat about. Kim Green, Sharon Finnan-White as well alongside me, and in this one it has been a really, I guess, an interesting battle. Sharon, we'll start with you in terms of the Giants' attack up against the Firebirds' defence has been really something that's been, I guess, this is where the action has been.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I mean, Giants won that first quarter by 3 points, but I think the Firebirds defenders are really stepping up, and overall, in general, I think defensively they've been really great in that first quarter. Carmo and Bakewell Doran in particular really working well as a defensive unit, shutting down space, getting their hands to ball, two hands, and just really make it very difficult. And looking at Kim Rav and Maimai out front, really working that outside ground to block that drive to the circle.
Yeah, we'll look more at the Firebirds defence, and this pairing, as we see Danelle Wallam there cop that injury, but the pairing between Ruby Bakewell Doran and Remy Carmo has been really interesting and a good one to watch, and they just keep getting better and better.
too. I love the combination that they've been able to build over the whole year. They've had so much time together, and you can see now they're starting to understand where each other need to go at certain times. The bench for the Firebirds is so loud. They are up for this game, and you can tell by the amount of turnovers that they've been able to create, but now they just need to capitalise down the other end.
Let's have a look at the match stats and see if the numbers tell the story. It has been incredibly even. In fact, 4 goals was the maximum the Giants got out to, and they got out to that 3 or 4 times, but the Firebirds keep on coming back. What stands out for you there, Sharon?
Look, you're right. It is pretty even across the board there, Will. Obviously, contacts, 20 contacts on the Giants. They have been pretty heavily penalised for this game. Nissan net points are obviously favouring the Giants. But just looking at, I think with the turnovers, 12 to 13, again, evenly matched. So, yeah.
High numbers, though, on both sides.
It's very high.
It is high numbers. And I also look at that time in possession from the Giants. They're playing around a little bit more with the ball. Is it because the Firebirds are doing such a great job in defence? I think they'll look at that and go, all right, we need to get to post a little bit sooner. Do they bring Matisse Leatherborough on?
Kim, you said Giants by 8, and you, Sharon, said Firebirds by 10. Do you stand by that?
I am standing by that, yes.
How stubborn of you. What about you?
So am I.
Right. I'm just going for whoever wins. That's how I absolutely do it all the time. Now, we have a fantastic community story to share with you on the way to the break about Binna Netball Club from Perth. Now, Binna was the recipient of a Woolworths Pick Fresh, Play Fresh grant last year, so let's take a look at what they've achieved in the community using the important funds provided by Woolworths.
We are lucky enough to be in Perth, Western Australia, and we've come to check in on the Binna Netball Club. Binna was lucky enough to win one of the Woolworths Pick Fresh, Play Fresh netball grants last year.
Thanks to the Woolworths Pick Fresh, Play Fresh netball grant, we've been able to subsidise a lot of the girls' fees that are in need of financial support. We've also been able to provide them with healthy fruit and snacks before games.
Woolworths Net Set Go is such a great program for the kids because it teaches them all about an active lifestyle and a healthy lifestyle.
For us to be able to spend the time with each family and make sure the kids could be registered, the end result is, the girls in the background having fun, playing together and really looking forward to training and game days.
I would encourage all families to be a part of the Woolworths Net Set Go program. It is a great initiative for our families. It's been an amazing partnership to have with Woolworths for our community.
Welcome back to Ken Rosewall Arena, and good news for Firebirds fans. Fennell Wallam with that finger strapped up, I think it's the same one she hurt earlier in the year, is back out and warming up on court, so she should play a role in the second half as the Firebirds look for win number 3 of season 2023. So let's see who comes out on court at the start of this second half. Fennell obviously still with the training shirt on, so we should see Mia Stour continue, but just perhaps we see a little bit more Donnell Wallam, especially if things get tight here, as they have been across the opening half of Suncorp Super Netball. And we'll be very lucky in just a second to be able to speak to Julie Fitzgerald, but both teams in the huddle. Big smiles from everyone, and onto the exercise bike where Gabby Simpson was for almost the entire first half is Wallam. Doesn't get fazed by too much now in her second season of Super Netball. Of course, came over from the Super League where she was so strong with Leeds, and then obviously originally from Western Australia. As we head down now to Julie Fitzgerald. Julie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. Very tight game, this one. Crucial you get the win. What was the message at halftime?
Look, I think I'm just a little bit disappointed with their execution at the moment. I think that we've done some really good stuff, but our execution can lift.
Julie, Sharon here. Great to see Jo back on court. How is her injury tracking, and you're expecting her to be out there for a full game?
Oh, look, I hope so. At the moment, she's doing okay and she's not too worried, but we've got Matisse here if we need her.
Very interesting first half in terms of ebbs and flows. You've been better in the second half of games, so is there any specific message you came out with to your Chargers?
No, it's like I said, I believe that we can execute a little bit better. It's turnovers like this that we have to score of and make the most of.
Julie, thank you so much for your time. Let's hope for the sake of the home fans that you can pick up the win and stay in the hunt for the finals.
Thank you.
Always good to be able to get a chat to the coach, especially the longest serving one in Suncorp Super Netball.
Yeah, she's a highly decorated coach, that's for sure, Will. She had 15 years at the Swifts, 3 years at the Magic, and she's been at the Giants since 2017, so one of the long-serving coaches.
Yeah, someone that you don't want to disappoint. I think if she said you were disappointed, just crush
Absolutely,
you. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. She commands so much respect. I really admire Julie as a coach.
Yeah, speaking of commanding so much respect, we head across the court to Kim Green.
You're throwing me under the bus here, Will. I love what Jules just said about conversion in particular. I'm looking at the Giants at the moment. They're sitting at 36% for gain to goal rate. So having a look at where that is breaking down, it's those long passes. They need to now shorten it up a little bit and allow themselves to get onto the top of the circle before feeding.
Keeper. Just in the two.
Jo Harton shaking her head there. She was actually trying to screen Remy Carmo to give some space for Sophie Dwyer to cut in behind her. But Carmo was doing a great job at repositioning around there. Oh, beautiful ball by Stow. A nice quick release into Moore, and they finish off with a goal.
Yeah, Stour obviously came on because of Wallam's injury, but they seem to have just kicked on with her out on court, and obviously she had some great range for the super shots in that period, but she slotted in nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, you know, as an athlete, she started the season as the goal attack for the Firebirds in the absence of Gretel Buetta. Then she saw herself go to the bench and Emily Moore come on and do really well. So, you know, mentally for her to be able to come from the bench, come on court in the goal shooter position is a real credit to her.
Absolutely right. Kimmy G, you're over there alongside Danelle Wallam, who I just saw clapping. So she's clapping her team, so it cannot be that bad.
Yeah, we have confirmation that she is available to get back out there if need be. So it looks like just a jarred finger for Danelle. I think at the moment the Firebirds are doing well with this moving circle, so I'm really loving what Stour's brought on to this game. But don't be surprised if we get Danelle back out there at some stage, that's for sure.
Yeah, if you were, in fact, Beck Bully, what decision would you be making? Because as you say right now, it seems to be working okay as they continue to level peg with the Giants.
Yeah, I'd be keeping the confidence of these two movers out there at the moment. You know, have a look at Moore and Brownlee. They've been playing against Talls for a couple of weeks. So to be able to mix it up, to have these movers out there is really challenging them. So leave it out there until things start to, you know, get a little bit dicey and then throw Wallam back out there.
Oh, Ruby Bakewell-Doran.
Another, just almost a carbon copy of the one in the second quarter.
It sure was. Now they need to reward her for that effort.
I love when players like Bakewell-Doran come out. Obviously had a huge season in her debut contracted season last year. Finished with that diamond selection. Turnover again.
It's the right idea. Sorry, Will. Just saying, right idea to fake the ball from my but just wrong execution at the end there.
How many times have we seen a turnover be coughed up as we see, like, obviously goals from gains so low for the Giants? We've seen it from the other end as well. A turnover at one end leads to another one, and there it is on the Harvey Norman replay, and it's Lauren Moore that came up with it. So 31 apiece, 4 minutes already gone in this second half.
Nice little refeed there from Moore to my. That's a hard one for the defenders to get to as well, because they're getting ready to set up to get their hand over the shot, so they're out of position to have a go at that one.
Kimmy, I want to ask you, this is a question without notice. Obviously, you've had a fair bit to do with Emily Moore, who we saw there on the refeed, and at 26 years of age, she's kind of gone across from the Giants Academy, and you've also had some... Have you coached her? Give me the lowdown.
I have coached Em Moore. She is a North Shore United Premier League player, which I coached for the last 2 years. Actually, Beck Bully was the coach prior to me. Yeah, she's a beautiful player. She has great timing. She has this ability to be able to create from the front and has great leadership skills. Under pressure, she's able to stand up, and I really love that she's been able to, you know, step up into the Firebirds, because it's a great story. She actually was going to retire, completely done with netball, and got the phone call from Beck Bully last minute to come up and just train with the girls in the absence of Gretel Tippett being pregnant this year. So has really taken this opportunity with two hands.
Yeah, it was only last year. As you said, she was working full-time, sort of 8:30 till 5:30, and then driving to training, finishing at 9 p.m, and then doing the whole thing the next day. You can see how that, you know, at 25, you might think, oh, maybe it's time. But there's time for all of us.
She's definitely a star of the future, Emily Moore, really standing up and delivering in there. I love what her and Stour are doing in the absence of Wallam at the moment. As Kim said, it's really just a different moving circle in there rather than that long ball going in.
And the Firebirds have hit the front. They've been dicing with it. They've been one up, one down, one up, one down. But at the moment, it's 1 goal to the good for the visiting team. Hey, top of the circle, can't get around Ravalian, who doesn't like that call.
Hold time. In defence, this is a caution for this team. Contact keeper in the 2.
Nice shot from Dwyer there, beautiful shot. Kim Rabb wouldn't be happy getting that caution. We know she's their captain, she's their leader on court. Oh, beautiful movement, Stour, and feed by Mai find her on the baseline. Shot to follow. Oh.
Yeah, it was lovely.
It was,
lovely
unfortunately,
netball.
not to be.
Wing defence, contact.
Hey, Dwyer all alone on the baseline.
Oh, a rare miss from Sophie Dwyer, and that's cost the Giants.
She followed it in too. She knew straight out of the hand as Hay collides with Ravalian. The ball heads down court. Long range again, Stour. Nice shot.
Just a little bit of trivia about Lisa Mai, seeing it's her first start in Super Netball on First Nations round. She's a Waka Waka woman. She's 22 years of age. Obviously the younger sister of Gemma Mai. Her first club was Meteors Netball Club. She co-captained her under-15 Queensland side and the Australian schoolgirls team. Played for Brisbane North Cougars in the Sapphire Series, and what a wonderful opportunity to her to make a name for herself here on this SSN stage.
Absolutely right. Yet another turnover as you were speaking there. 35 apiece. The Giants with another chance to take back a small advantage in the middle part of this third quarter.
Oh, great vision from Jamie Lee Price there, right between Carmo and Bakewell Door, and great vision from the Australian Diamond.
And it's Bakewell Door who signals to the umpire and say it's time for a timeout. So the HCF timeout, this time we will listen in to Beck Woolley and her assistant coaches and see what the plans are for Super Shot period in the third quarter.
You're going to have to be really disciplined now. Okay, or she's going to get a caution, you're going to come off. Arms down, stay in play. I reckon just don't go for hands now. Have a look at that sag on. I reckon that's our play. Go to that, okay? Defensively, it's just going over our heads under that post. Okay.
And just really wants her players to stay in the contest and not be standing out of play.
All right, Kimmy G, you were listening in to the Giants huddle. What did you hear?
Yeah, well, I heard Julie Fitzgerald really calm and then Jo Harden really fiery. She wants her players to turn their hips and actually sight her. Give the ball or fake it. It's not one. It's one or the other. It's not just standing there and not doing either. So she's been pretty passionate out there. Expect the Giants to lift.
Yeah, she really has. I keep saying that she's like a calming influence, but when she's upset, everybody knows it as well. There's no doubt about it. But the knee seems to be holding up for Jo Harden, and she's under all sorts of pressure from that Firebirds defensive unit. Now, over the course of this season, the Firebirds have averaged 70 goals against. So per game, obviously that 97-goal blowout didn't help so much with that, but to keep the Giants to 37 in the dying minutes of the third quarter is a good defensive effort.
Jo Harden just struggling to find someone to get the ball to. They're having to go back to the transverse line on the reset.
Certainly doesn't have the fluency that you would expect.
Bad luck there. Carmo got her hand to that one. She's really playing that front position on Jo.
No, Jo Harden is not enjoying it, and the Firebirds come up with another chance to level things up. Third straight week on the road. Haven't won an away game this season, the Queensland Firebirds, and this, they sense, could be their chance to end that run. So many passes for both teams in their forward third, and a lot of coughed up ball as well.
The Firebirds have been really patient to get that ball down there. The Giants are just sitting off. As Ruby Bakewell-Doran comes through for another intercept, but the Giants are sitting off the Firebirds. They really need to get up onto the body and start contesting that first phase.
Well, guys, just from the sideline here, I'm just seeing so many turnovers, but it's just that lack of connection from the centre third into the attacking third. Both teams need to start making it a little bit shorter. We see Amy Parmenter throwing that ball away because no one was coming to, but it's about being short now. They've done it for almost about 10 minutes, so it's really about adjusting to the conditions that's happening right in front of them and starting to shift momentum slightly for one of the teams.
Yeah, you sense that whoever manages to turn that on first could put a few goals in a row on, and then suddenly the complexion of this game looks very different. As Stour from super shot range, off the dead ball play, can't sink it, but Moore picks up, and the Firebirds are up by 1. Wallam about to come back out, in fact does that, and Donnell is back out at goal shooter, as up the other end, Jo Harden levels it up once again, 38 apiece now. So Lauren Moore finding herself back up against Donnell Wallam. Lovely pass, circle edge, as the Firebirds try to find a way in. Wallam in the front space.
Back, reset with the goal defense. Inside.
Can't actually see any strapping on Donnell Wallam's finger there, so maybe it's not as bad as what we thought, unless it's just the colour of the strapping wheel. I can't see anything there, but anyway, she got her first goal in, so she'll be happy with that.
Hold time.
I think you're right.
Yep. Can't see anything there.
Good work, Eagle Eyes. Yeah, no, she's clapping, and I think there's no strapping there, so
she's up and about. She probably just needed to warm up on the bike, get the blood flowing through the fingers. Oh,
lovely hand out from Carmo. The turnovers just pile up in this defensive encounter. Moore, Dunkley looking for a way in the aerial route, and why not?
Beautiful.
With Donnell back on, and the Firebirds hit 40, and that means that Julie Fitzgerald has called an HCF timeout with 2 minutes and 2 seconds on the clock in the third. The Giants down by 2.
So we have to be hard to every ball, and we have to anticipate that they're going to be hard to every ball. So if the ball's going long, we've got to be really hard onto it because they're going to run it down, all right? When we are short and patient and we have composure, we're all right. All right, so
ball, wait a second, see what the goal defense, see what Ruby does. If she goes there, we'll pull you in the circle. If she stays on, then it's me to move. But at the moment, when it's coming in so tight, even if we get the ball there, it's too slow. Do you know what I mean? We've got to spread them and then attack the middle, not drift in.
Little bit of work before, and then hard onto the ball,
Go
right?
on that cross. If you're letting it go on that cross. Attack that ball. Come on. Let's go. Drive for 3, 1, 2, 3.
Well, you heard it from Jo Harton, Will. She was laying down the law there to her team. She's looking at a little bit more width down that end in that goal circle end. Having a look at what Ruby does and adjusting, because obviously she's coming out just taking those intercepts.
Yeah, it's been a frustrating return to the court for Jo Harton, and she didn't mix words there. Kim, what was happening over in the Firebirds camp?
Yeah, Beck Bully really happy with her Firebirds camp. The one person that she went to in particular was Lauren Moore and said, Emily Moore, not Lauren Moore, the other team, Em Moore, and said to her, do not go missing in these next 1 minute. So she's really wanting her to lift her game and really stand up.
Whistle sees the ball back, turn over to the Firebirds, who are 3 up, and that is as big a lead as they have had through the course of this one, and Moore can't reach into it, and it's 4 goals suddenly to the visitors.
Lara Dunkley is the master of feeding that ball into Wallam off the circle. They must practice that at training time and time again, I would say.
Rice throws the ball away, but time was off, and suddenly, with possession and a 4-goal lead, Wallam back on court. The Firebirds are looking the goods at the back end of the third quarter, and it is 5 goals, biggest lead to any team across the course of this 3 quarters, and an important 45 seconds and possession for the Giants.
Yes.
As Mai and Hay collide, and again the whistle against Hay, and the boos ring around Kenrose Wall Arena. Here's the Harvey Norman replay.
Yeah, Maddie Hay just trying to force her way through 2 defenders. Great job of the Firebirds just shutting down that space for Maddie Hay.
The mop comes out, 37 seconds on the clock. Elite mop work, it's already all over. And a super shot here could really turn the screws. Oh, the Giants, and up it goes. Good Moore immediately demonstrating.
Firebirds happy just to take the one, put on that scoreboard pressure.
They know they've got the centre pass, so they don't have to worry too much. Although Parmena comes up with a turnover. Rebellion nearly returns serve. 10 seconds. The Giants are going to need to hustle if they're going to take one back. Time's been called. 6 seconds. They're going to have to go, and they do. They go high, but it goes to Camo, and suddenly the Firebirds have a commanding lead. 6 goals with a great passage of play in the last 5 minutes of the third quarter. Can they pick up their first away win of the season? We will find out very, very soon.
We know we're really good at, and we're playing into their hands. So let's have a deep breath now and get back into this game and play the way we know works for us.
We're so strong, like let's go back
Clear
to
and simple message from Julie Fitzgerald, who looks like she will be bringing Jo Harton off the court for the final quarter and bringing on Matisse Leatherbarrow. At least that's how it looks from where I'm sitting right now. And we will see what kind, well, you can see Leatherbarrow's practice top, but Jo Harton is wearing it. So Leatherbarrow out at goal shooter alongside Sophie Dwyer, a combination that is bringing some cheers from behind me out here on court, because they have been so good together over the course of the past few weeks. Without Jo Harton on, Danelle Wallam stays on, and it looks to be a same 7 from Beck Bully. Three-quarter time brought to you by Origin Energy, and of course you are watching First Nations round, which actually goes for 2 rounds across the course of this one. And we said it in the pre-show, Sharon, but it's just such an important part of Australian sport and particularly netball.
Yeah, absolutely, Ro. I think it's great that all the, a lot of the sporting codes have their First Nations rounds because it just brings to light so many different, I guess, celebrations, but also issues. It talks about the things that aren't really working well in the Indigenous space. But the good news is that there were 18 First Nations athletes that played at the under-17s and under-19s Australian National Championships. So there are players coming through the pathway, and obviously they're getting a lot of good support to be able to make it that far. We've also got Gabby Coffey, who's a training partner for the Melbourne Vixens as well. So, she's starting to make a name for herself. It'd be great to see her get on court. Oh, beautiful feed there. So there are some good things happening in the First Nations space as well. Netball Australia have got a new First Nations director, Cheryl Kickett-Tucker, AM, so I've been looking forward to meeting her. There's been a lot of discussions around a national Indigenous strategy. The First Nations Advisory Committee was set up, obviously, after the for the Declaration of Commitment that was signed by all of the netball peak bodies. So there's been some mentoring sessions as well happening with Danelle and Gemma Maimai involved, and Ali Tucker as an elite coach. So there's some good things happening. I'd just love to see Netball Australia promoted a little bit more, that's all.
Well, it is good to hear about it right now, though. There's no doubt about that as the Firebirds go back-to-back to start this final quarter. And every possession now for the Giants is crucial. And another one goes begging. As, again, the crowd don't like it, and why not? They're seeing this one slip away, and if it does, the chances of seeing Giants in finals netball will slip away with it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful transition of play from the Firebirds all the way from the defence end down to the goal end. Just still the Giants are lacking that one-on-one defence that we're used to seeing from them, so they're really going to have to step up. As I speak, Maddie Hay gets a touch to the ball. The Giants are just going to have to look at their starting position and just start a little bit closer, really shut down that space, contest that first ball. Because at this stage, the Firebirds are getting that first phase in attack every single time.
Contact, ring defend! Goal third!
I think the Firebirds have scored the last 9 goals in a row.
Yep.
Which is quite the run. And they're going to make it 10. So if my calculations are correct, oh, there you go. That 10th one, we'll add that one on, and the Firebirds have owned all of the real estate in that graphic at the bottom of your screen, which is why the crowd here at Ken Rosewall has gone almost completely silent. Dwyer, high, Leatherbarrow.
Nice speed from Dwyer.
Needed to be too, didn't it?
It did. But, I mean, sorry, go, Will.
Sorry, I'm looking over there at Kim Green and I'm thinking, does she have any answers about a 10-goal run to her old team? Kim, what would you be doing out there right now?
Yeah, the Giants are looking extremely frustrated in attack, and then in defence they're looking really reactive. So there's 2 things that you can do, and it's about starting from scratch and getting the basics right. Defence, it's about dictating and staying in play, building pressure. You have to stay in play. But in attack, multiple leads. At the moment, Giants only have 1 person going to the ball. We see Tilly McDonald coming into the game right now in goalkeeper, so let's see if this changes things and if she goes and has a crack at a few things too.
Yeah, I think that's a good move from Julie Fitzgerald. Kim bringing Tilly McDonald in. She brings so much energy to the game. Look, she's already out hunting for the ball and has forced a turnover, a positive turnover for her team. So let's see what she can do for the rest of the quarter.
No one is as excited about anything as Tilly McDonald is excited about netball.
I love her energy. Isn't
it great?
Yeah.
And certainly helped get a team up and about. And we'll put a couple of goals on too, and the crowd come back into it. 10:55 left in this one. The Giants playing for their season.
Centre contact in the back. With the centre.
Oh, beautiful work from Carmo, who saw the 3rd pump fake and out the ball came.
Remy
She's
Carmo.
having a game.
Oh, she's on 53 miss and net points. 3 intercepts, 5 deflections.
How about Jamie Lee Price, though, on 124.5 miss and net points. 2 intercepts, 3 deflections, 25 feeds, 17 assists.
Unbelievable.
And she's on 124.5. Her team's on 262, so carrying. the rest of the team in terms of missing net points. Anyway, Hay lets it go, and every ball in the forward third for the Giants is at the fingertips of a Firebirds defender. Moore. Oh, down goes Dunkley, the grimace.
Amy Parmenter just getting in underneath Lara Dunkley's body as she went up for that ball. She wore her like a glove though, so she's starting to put that pressure on that we're so used to seeing from Amy Parmenter.
Moore lets it go with the confidence that Wallen provides. Back to 10 goals, 7-4 for the quarter scoring. And the Firebirds have won the last two quarters, 14-11 and then 16-10 with that run at the back end. Barrow breathing a sigh of relief on that one. She's 4 from 4 since coming on at three-quarter time, and again, just no hesitation on the feed. Giants are going to need some...
Oh, Ruby.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, Ruby Bakewell-Doran. Outstanding reflexes.
Her fourth intercept, you suppose you'd call that second deflection. Only picked up 7 penalties, 2 in defence.
Yeah, both Remy and Ruby are quite disciplined in defence.
Off the one step, Dinell, 29 from 32 now. A couple of assists to her name as well. So, out to 12 goals, the Firebirds, and it's going to need to be some kind of super shot period from Sophie Dwyer and the Giants. Otherwise, it is season over. Dwyer into the pocket to Hay, who Hay'll have a few post-game bruises after this. She's been on the deck a few times.
Absolutely. She's having a quieter game than what we're used to seeing, but she's still contributing.
No hesitation from anyone feeding Dinell at the moment, who is finding the right areas and giving her attackers plenty of space, and the Firebirds have called a timeout this time, so we'll listen in to them. Beck Pooley, well, look at that smile. It's guarded, but she should be happy. It's ballooned out all of a sudden off an 11-6 opening to this quarter to a big lead.
Feet around, don't get caught on that hole. Okay, all right. Hey, guys, breathe in for a sec. We are doing an outstanding job, but we keep putting our foot on the throat, okay? We do not let off one little bit. They are going to start going for twos, okay? Listen up. They're going to start going for twos, but we actually don't need to score twos, okay? We just keep going for the ones. We just need to keep scoring. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. Well done. Great work. You're right. You're right. You're right, ladies.
You don't need to play just to do. You need to
come on. You're right. Do you want to come on? Still cramping?
Yeah, it's still cramping.
Okay. All right. Gabby, you go in the centre. Gabs, you come on to me. It's all right. Ready? Take your next one. Yeah. All right. We got fresh legs on. Come on, Gabs. Here we go. Impact. All right.
Let's go, Bray.
So much energy as out on court there is Wallen, but at the other end, Gabby Simpson wearing the wing defence bib, and Firebirds fans will be good to see her out there, even with plenty of strapping on the ankles. She is.
So great to see Gabby back out on court. It would be very hard for her to be sitting on that bench for so long. She's a former diamond. She's been a mainstay of this Firebirds lineup for so many years. So I know it would hurt her sitting out on the bench, but she's just as good a leader off the court as she is on. Beautiful shot from Sophie Dwyer there. Always calm, collected, composed. Goes about her business.
More high, and Wallen owning that space. McDonald doing what she can, but It's not enough.
Look, that one-on-one in the circle with a tall, strong shoot. Sorry, Kim, I'm going to steal your thunder. Kim's looking over at us. You go.
No, well, you can talk. When Kim looks at me like that, I just stop talking immediately as Amy Parmenter knocks the ball out of play. But Kim, what was happening over there in Orangeland?
Yeah, well, I was listening in to Jo Harden in particular. She was talking about Carmo and Baker Doran getting to those high balls, so the shooters have to mix up what they're doing. She asked Matisse Leatherborough to punch through the middle of the circle there and actually take on the body. So let's see if they're able to do that.
Off the big step, Wallam, and drains another one. 13 goals it is now, 6 minutes to go. And the Firebirds have finally found something. They look to register win number 3 and hand a second defeat of the season to the Giants. It was 4 goals last time out in a much more high-scoring game than this one. This one has been a defensive battle as Maddie Hay on the deck again. Front to Wallam, and 35th goal from 38. 14 goals. Look for the super shots to come raining down. Amy Sligo warming up with the centre bib on. And you can see top of your screen. So, Julie Fitzgerald's not often she clears the bench, but it could happen today. And she does. JLP comes off after 120 Nissa net points. Amy Sligo on in the centre bib. Who's also coming back from her own injury issues.
Beautiful feed, sorry, Will. Beautiful feed from Kim Rav. She's back in the centre.
60 goals for the Firebirds. There is the hooter for the final Power 5. This rotation gets Dwyer at her preferred super shot place, and a great, well, we thought it was going to be a great pickup from Leatherbarrow, but not to be. And every missed shot basically drives the nail further into the coffin for the Giants season, which is not a way for April Brownlee to celebrate her 150th. Down again this time. It's Parmenter landing on more. Sharon, who do you think has impressed Stacey Marinkovic for Diamond's selection in this one? I've got to put up probably Wallam and Bakewell Doran as doing nothing to hurt their chances of heading to South Africa.
Look, definitely Wallam and Bakewell Doran. They've been outstanding tonight. I think, you know, I was looking at Parmenter's game last week, and I would say, yes, she's a definite shoe-in for wing defence. Today has it been a little bit quiet, you know, but has she done enough already for Stacey to choose her at wing defence? And I was also thinking she can play centre, but we haven't seen her in that role, so she's a specialist wing defence. And is that something that the Diamonds want to take away? Someone who isn't as versatile as someone like a Jamie Lee Price or a Ash Braz who can play centre and wing defence. But Amy's definitely, you know, got the goods to be back in that Diamonds
Jamie
team.
Lee Price as well. I mean, obviously, when you look at her numbers, wouldn't have hurt.
Absolutely, yeah, no, very impressed with Jamie Lee Price. I thought early she was a bit quiet. I thought Mai did a really good job on her. Then she came to life and obviously, yeah, just did what she does best.
Speaking of doing what she does best, Jamie Lee Price, you can see her on the side of court, leading all comers in the Nissa net points, and by quite the margin too. And the defensive pairing of the Firebirds right behind her among 4 Firebirds who've been notching up the net points over the past, I guess, quarter and a half, as the score worm has headed south right into Firebirds territory with a 10-goal run and then another little run now. It's been one-way traffic, and you know, blink and you miss it. It was only 15 minutes ago they were level pegging, and it couldn't be. Oh, and this time again, Rebellion with the smarts to let it roll out of court, and another turnover. Very frustrating for Julie Fitzgerald and for this fan base who've turned out for this one. A cold Homebush in Sydney. And I mean, you can cut to Julie Fitzgerald, but her face looks the same no matter whether they're up by 10 or down by 10. Doesn't give too much away, has seen it all.
True, but just looking at both benches, there's all smiles on the Firebirds bench, and why wouldn't there be? With this lead that they've been able to pull forward.
Yeah, it's been a pretty torrid season for them, so enjoying this one with 2 minutes to go. 17 goals all of a sudden. The Giants scored 10 in the third quarter to 16 for the Firebirds. They've scored 10 in this quarter. The Firebirds have already laid on 20 goals. With a minute 40 still to go and in possession once again. Haven't been forced to go to the super shot at all. We have seen very few considering how many we usually see. As Wallam steps back into the space, but hands it off.
Will she take the shot? Yes, she will.
Why not? Especially when she knows she's going to get the rebound. Drops in another one. Goal number 21 for the quarter, and the Firebirds are on 66. Thumbs up from Wallam, and why not? They get the centre pass as well. Into the back space. Beautifully weighted pass. Another goal and another.
I would have liked to have seen April Branley sort of double back on Danelle just to help out Tilly. It's coming in way too easy, so they need to look at a different strategy to stop that high ball going in.
Hay in the pocket.
Nice, beautiful take by Amy Slider.
Nice play there. Be good to see it finished off, and it is from Lila Barrow, and they hit the 50. The Giants, 30 seconds to go. You think this will be the last play of this game. Dunkley goes high with all the confidence in the world.
She looked for the two. Would have been a nice way to finish the game.
Still 20 seconds, and a final scoring opportunity for the Giants, you would think. Down in the pocket to Sliger, who has to go back to Hay. 10 seconds on the clock. And that is just indicative of the second half of this game for the Firebirds. 3 seconds on the clock. 68-50 will be the final score. And disappointment for the Giants. Their season now likely at an end in terms of finals chances. A third win for the Firebirds, the bogey team for the Giants, having won by 4 goals in their last meeting. They do this one by 18, which is a nice moment in a tough season for the Queensland Firebirds.
Yeah, it is a nice moment in a tough season for the Firebirds, and they'll be really happy with that performance. Everyone on court did their part, played their role, and to finish with such a big margin. Actually, I said 10, didn't I? So it's a bit more than that.
I know, but I see that you're reminding us of being correct with your tips. I like that you doubled down at the halftime break and said, yeah, no, 10 will be good. Well, you were wrong. It was 18.
Okay, I was wrong, but,
I'm sure you'll take it.
More than
Wallam looks okay. She, as you said, doesn't have the strapping on, so everyone in Firebirds land can take it easy, and why not savour this moment for the Queensland Firebirds, who finally, after 5 attempts, win an away game in season 2023. And we're going to head down onto court in just a second to Kim Green, who is with a very happy goalkeeper.
Yeah, we have the player of the match, Remy Camo, here. We can see, I don't know if we can pan the camera just over to all the teammates, just absolutely hammering it here. Congratulations, 9 games, 5 intercepts. What a performance from you.
Yeah, I had a really good time. I'm so glad we got another win. We've been looking forward to it. It's been really hard backing it up every week. And yeah, we put out a stellar performance today, so I'm really proud of the girls.
Let's talk about that connection. We've been talking about it in commentary, the combination of you and Bakewell Doran. What do you love most about playing with Ruby out the front?
I think the greatest part is that we're so connected that we don't have to speak, and that's really, really good in a stadium like this when you can't hear a thing. But I think every single week we're building, and I hope that we get the opportunity to keep building.
Well done today. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
A deserving player of the match, although it could have been any one of a number of Firebirds, and they get around her too. And some difficult times off court for the Firebirds around the pre-season, but they have come together as a group and they deserve that win. And we're going to have a look at the stats and the match summary in just a second, that are going to show us just how good they were in the second half The Firebirds, they shot 96% when they beat the Giants last time. The Giants shot 78%. Not quite as good this time around, but in 48 turnovers in that match, and the Firebirds just were a bit safer with the ball, Sharon.
Yeah, and that's something that they've been lacking in previous games, Will, so it's really great to see them taking possession, treasuring possession. They really played smart. They played real clinical netball. They had options aplenty across the court. Looking at their shooting stats as well, you know, Danelle Wallam on 96%, Emily Moore on 100%, 10 from 10. You know, Stour came on and did the job as well. So fantastic.